Andrew here from Underground Training, and this is the mining industry news for new starters. Why is it important to keep up with what's going on in the industry? Well, it just makes it so much easier to get a job if you're a new starter and know what's happening in the industry. First off, let's jump over and have a look at the Westgold death outcome. So there was a death at Big Bell Gold Mine in 2020. Somebody got hit by a truck, unfortunately. The reason that I'm bringing this up is I just want to illustrate to everybody coming into the industry how seriously the industry takes these sort of things. They got fined $945,000, so almost $1 million. The Westgold wouldn't have liked the fact that they have to pay the fine, which is a huge fine, so that's one thing, but it's the loss in the downtime. So the whole thing would have been shut down for a couple of days when the death happened, and they would have lost well more than this money in the few days that they were shut down because they were having to deal with all this. So I can remember in 2005, 2006, when the employers actually cottoned onto the fact that it cost them a lot of money when they hurt and kill people on site, so the best thing to do is not for it to have happen. So this is a rarity. All the employers are actively engaged in trying to make this not happen because they don't want to pay the fines, but they don't want to have the loss in the production as well. I just wanted to bring this up just to show people, because there's a lot of people out there saying that the industry is not accountable. On our side of the industry, in the hard rock underground space, this shows you that they're very accountable in what they want you to do. And then again, this is one of the reasons why they want stuff done in a certain way when you go to site. So that's our first news item. Our next one is what's going on in the Hunter Valley with the coal mines and the cuts to the workforce. So unfortunately, there's a number of mines around the country, especially in coal, that are in trouble. And this one, they've put off 100 workers because they've defaulted on their $20 million loan. So you can have a look through the story. This is in New South Wales. We're just going to jump up here and have a look at what's going on in Queensland. So Queensland coal mines shutting down, and again, if you put it into Google and it has a look, it'll run through 4 or 5, actually 6 mines that it reckons that are in trouble at the moment up that way that could be looking a bit iffy. So it's just one of those things, because the coal price is so low, there's going to be a number of mines that are going to shut down. There are going to be other mines that are, playing ducks and drakes, and I just want to come over here to Adani and their coal mine in Queensland. Now, it's lost $500 million last year, but that's more of an accountancy thing than they've actually lost money, because the reason that Adani's not going to go out of business is because they're shipping it over to India and putting it straight into a power plant. So the whole thing's closed circle. Their own mine is powering their own power plants. Whereas with these mines, they're selling them to the open market, and then that means that you're exposed to market trends. So there's a few mines that look like they're going to shut down. As you can see from this slide, this is an old slide that I've shown before. Gold and copper are booming. Lithium and nickel have gone into a bust about 18 months ago. Iron ore's treading water, but they've turned a lot of their jobs driverless. And coal was treading water. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to change this slide so it goes into a bit of a downturn by the looks of things, because it looks like that's what's happening with coal, unfortunately. So there are 2 places in the industry where employers have got no choice but to hire new starters, and that's in hard rock underground and surface exploration. So if you type underground into Seek, you'll see all the jobs come up, and you don't have to go very far to find some entry-level jobs. So there's an entry-level job there, entry-level job there, underground job. There's lots of these jobs are all entry-level. Employers don't want to hire new starters for these jobs, but most of the employers have got no choice, because nobody has got with any experience wants to do these jobs. Anybody that's got 12 months truck driving experience, they want to be service crew, because service crew pays more, and everybody that's service crew wants to be, the next level up, which is charge up or the bogger, because that pays more. So it's just all works like that. The other side of things is the drillers offsider. So underground can be a good place to go, but like I keep telling people, surface drillers offsider in exploration, you have to like camping, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. If that's your thing and you love to jump in the 4-wheel drive and go away and be in the middle of nowhere and not have a shower for a whole heap of days and just live live like they used to live back in the day, then it's probably money for jam. But that's one of the reasons why they go through a lot of people, is because you're expected as the drillers offsider to go and do 12 hours work and then go and cook dinner afterwards, which isn't something that really floats my boat, to tell you the truth. But there are lots of jobs around the country. Everybody's looking for people, but there are a lot of underground driller offsider jobs, and that's where I'd be looking if I was trying to get a driller's offsider job. I'd definitely be looking in the underground spot, because you'll get your own room at camp, somebody cooks for you, feeds you, and all that sort of stuff you don't have to worry about. If you're trying to get into the industry, check out our training at undergroundtraining.com.au. So the DIY package is here. It's got all the information that you need to know on how to get into the industry. It teaches you everything that the employers want a new starter to know. And it just allows them to throw you in the deep end, which makes you a huge advantage to them. We're not a tick and flick course. It's an old-fashioned study course. You've got to learn the information for it to be effective. But if you do, you've got all the tools to go and get yourself a job. So that's the news for this week. There's lots of jobs around in the hard rock underground and surface exploration places. Everywhere else, unfortunately, is treading water or going backwards, so they're only looking for really experienced people. And the reason that they're only looking for experienced people is because when you go through a downturn, they've got the experienced people there to look for. So if you're trying to get in, go for the places where they've got no choice but to hire new starters, educate yourself and get the job that you're after. So I hope you found that news interesting, and remember, the more you know about what's going on in the industry, the easier it'll be to get yourself a job. So that's the mining industry news. If you want to check out the training at undergroundtraining.com.au, or if you want to talk to somebody that knows how the industry works, the phone number's at the end of the video.